What's going on, people? It's your boy calwu, and welcome to another episode of planetwu. And today we got more early reviews for you. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to the video. It helps my channel out a lot. Helps put me in the top numbers, help keep bringing more people to this channel, and I appreciate y'all for everybody that's rocking with me. So today we will be talking about these 4 anime that have reached their early stages, which means at least 3 episodes. We're going to be talking about Sentoin Hakishimasu, aka Combatants Will Be Dispatched. We'll be talking about Higehero. After being rejected, I shaved and took in a High School Runaway. Mars Red and Odd Taxi. So, first things first, let's go ahead and jump it off with Combatants Will Be Dispatched. The overview for Combatants Will Be Dispatched. With world domination nearly in their grasp, Lilith, Belial, and Astaroth, the supreme leaders of the Kisaragi Corporation, an underground criminal group turned evil megacorp, have decided to try their hands at interstellar conquest. Excuse me. A quick dice roll nominates their chief operative, Combat Agent 6, and they sent with him the AI Alice to be the one to explore an alien planet. Snow, a head knight who is driven by money, that brings the pair to the capital, and they find a rain machine that's broken, and Alice fixes it. Now, I'm going to tell you why this is important. Because when they were first brought to this city, they noticed relics of the ancient world. So they seen like a tank, which they call relics of the ancient world. They don't, those machines don't work anymore. And when they got here, Snow was showing them around, showing Combat Agent 6 and Alice around, hailing them as great warriors, because by the time they got to them, they had noticed that they killed a bunch of these little like hellhounds or demon dog creatures. And so once they got there or whatever, she introduced them to the queen, or not the queen, but the princess. And after they got introduced to the princess, they, was walking around kind of exploring, and they seen this cube. The cube allows the royalty to use whatever secret code they got, whatever prayer or whatever, to be able to make it rain, to stop their drought and make it rain. What makes this a key point is that the corporation, the Kisaragi Corporation, they pay their operatives money based on how much evil they commit. So every time they commit an evil act, they automatically accrue some type of currency. Combat Agent 6 is one of those guys that don't really like doing evil stuff, but he'll do petty stuff that borderlines the road of being evil because it's not hurting nobody. So this guy with this machine, after Alex fixed it, the machine rebooted and asked for a password. This dumbass said he changed the password to penis party. Why? Because it's evil, and every time the princess would have to do the ritual to make it rain, she would have to say penis party. And every time she would say that, it would make her embarrassed, which would help him accrue evil, which would help him gather evil points, which is their currency and their money, and things of that nature. Alice was like, "You're such an idiot, bro, because you saying that, but her being a princess means there's a king. So it won't always be a woman doing it. It'll be a man." And they got in trouble for it. And the princess vouched for him and pretty much asked for them to be, pretty much be her charges, and she'll, handle them. So they decided that they'll work for this kingdom and help them against the threats from the demons. So in order to deal with the demons, Combat Agent 6 and Alice decided that they would be gathering their own teams from the people, from the people in the city. One thing they noticed is that there wasn't any young men in the city. It was all women and old guys. and they end up finding out that during the last battle between them and the Demon King, a lot of like majority of the young guys were murdered, so they wouldn't have any combat power, which is pretty fucked, but it's smart. It's smart as hell. And so they had like this little training regimen so they could see how people train. So they looking through the file, they end up choosing between two people. They chose Rose, who's a chimera that was made by a scientist. So anything that she eats, she gets the power of that creature or whatever they eat, or whatever she eats, I should say. And then you have Grim. Grim is a magician that's introduced to us as handicapped. She's in a wheelchair. And the comedy and actually, hold on, before I even move on, not just the fact that she's in a wheelchair, but the fact that she's obsessed with being married and falling in love and getting people to love her and like wanting to marry her. She is an extremely weird and quirky character. I actually think she's hilarious. And pretty much the anime is just all about these 5 characters, just their interaction together and them taking on the Demon King and the Demon King's army. Like, I love the fact that Combat Agent 6 is bringing tactics from our world to their world. Tactics that they would never use. Tactics that they feel is cowardly because it's just not the direct like solution of like, we just gonna charge head in and fight them. This dude doing tactics like cutting off food supplies and supplies to base camps to them and things of that nature, so they'll leave and they'll be less likely to want to start fights because they wouldn't have the power and the stamina because they supplies are cut to even take on such a task. And it's dope. It's really dope. I'm enjoying it so far. Next is Higehiro. After being rejected, I shaved and took in a High School Runaway. Upon watching this anime, I'm just gonna put this out there. Upon watching this anime, I thought it was gonna be weird, like what's the other one? Oh my goodness. The one where the guy likes his sister's friend. I literally just talked about it the other day. Oh, Too Sick to Call This. It's Too Sick to Call This Love. I thought this was gonna be that. And I was pleasantly surprised that it is not. It definitely is not. I'm actually thoroughly enjoying this anime. I'm gonna give you the synopsis that was given for the anime. Yoshida goes on a date with his boss Goto, to which he confesses his undying love and adoration for her, just to be turned down and told that she has a man. He goes out drinking with his friend Hashimoto, to which he gets drunk and complains about how she did him dirty and ignored his feelings for her. After leaving the bar, he sees a young girl sitting under a street light, and this is where the anime starts. So, first and foremost, Goto is a baddie, for sure. And my man's had a crush on her for 5 whole years. Like, he had a crush on her for 5 whole years. And finally mustered up the courage to ask her out. And she was like, okay, sure. You know, they're eating and enjoying each other's company. And he just was like, yo, I just got to tell you, Goto, I've been in love with you for these last 5 years. I finally got the courage to say something. I want to be your man. I will be your, you know what I'm saying? He straight up said, I'll be your mother, your father, your lover, your everything. I'll be your everything. She was like, I got a man who I've been with for 5 years, so yeah, that's not going to work. And he like, damn. So he called his boy Hashimoto and was like, bro, you got to meet me at this bar, dog. And he just pours his heart out to Hashimoto like, dog, she grimy. I poured out my love to her. You know what I'm saying? And she just turned me down so easily. She didn't even think about it. He ordering more drinks. Like, I got to get drunk. I got to try and forget about this. And Hashimoto like, bro, enough drinking. Don't drink no more. He's like, bro, you got me out here at 3 a.m, dog. My wife gonna be mad as hell. You know what I'm saying? And he gets a call from his wife and she cussing him out. And he like, bro, I got to go. Come on, you about to leave too. You're not about to sit here and keep drinking. Come on, we leaving. So Hashimoto pretty much makes him leave, goes a separate way. So Yoshida walking home, and he gets to this T street. Like, he pretty much walking up the street, and it's a street that's crossing the street he's walking up, and he sees a girl sitting directly under a street light. So he walks up to her and goes, "Excuse me, are you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, so what? You missed your train or something? You want to go? You trying to go home?" And she's like, "Yeah, and aren't no more trains running home." So he's like, "Okay, well, I'm pretty sure it's somewhere safer you could be other than under this street. Like, that's kind of weird." And she's like, "Well, no, not really." He was like, "Well, why don't you just go buy a ticket at the train station and just go sleep there? It's definitely be a whole lot safer for you to sleep there than to sleep here." And she was like, "Well, I don't got no money to do that, so I'm just here." And she's like, and he's like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, how about you let me stay with you and I have sex with you in exchange?" And this dude like, "Hell no, nah. Like, you a high school girl. Like, no, I'm not doing that." So he's sitting there trying to think of a way of, like, not to let this girl sleep under this street light, because it's definitely not, you know what I'm saying, safe for a young girl to be out in the streets this late. So he finally comes to the conclusion, like, "You know what? What's your name?" She goes, "My name is Sayu, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "Okay, well, screw it. Come on, I'll let you stay with me, but just for the night." So he lets Sayu stay with him for the night. And when she gets to his place, she like pushing up on him, like, "Okay, you know, I gotta thank you. I you know what I'm saying, like, come on, I fuck you. Like, I fuck you, let's go." And he like, "No, I already told you. You a little kid. Fuck out my face." And Yoshida goes to lay down, and she's like, "Well, if there's anything that I could do for you, what would you want me to do?" And he's like, "You know what? You can make me some miso soup." Excuse me, Jesus Christ. He's like, "You can make me some miso soup and, like, do some cleaning or something. Whatever, just leave me alone." He goes to sleep. He wakes up, and she makes some miso soup. So now he's freaking out, like, "Why is you making miso soup in a stranger's house? Who the hell told you to do this?" And she like, You He was like, "I did." He was like, "Wait a minute, did I touch you? Did we have sex last night?" And she's like, "No." He's like, "Whoo, sweet baby Jesus, thank you. I did not do anything with her." Whoo. And, you know, so he starts inquiring more about, like, you know, where she come from. And she's like, you know, she's pretty much been out on her own, moving from guys to guys' house, sleeping with the guys, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, "I can't throw this girl back out on the streets, because then she's going to become prey to somebody else who trash as fuck." And it's like, at least here, she going to, you know what I'm saying, she going to eat, she going to chill out. I ain't going to fuck her, so she going to be smooth. And, you know, so he goes to work, and he tells Hashimoto, like, "Bro, you know you could get in a lot of trouble. This is a weird situation. And, like, if her parents find out, you can go to jail for this, because they can lie and say that you raped their daughter. Anything can happen. This is a touchy situation." He was like, "I know. Keep it under wraps. You already know me. It ain't like that. I'm just trying to make sure that she good." And it just gives you, and the anime like goes on like that. And it just gives you this interesting dynamic of a guy that's just genuinely a nice guy who doesn't want to see this girl on the streets or see other grown ass men take advantage of this child, and him taking this risk of pretty much about to get himself in trouble as well. And she makes a mention of, like, how he like look grimy and he need to shave every day, so he starts doing it. So he shaves every day, and that draws attention from people at work. And this is where Mishima pays attention to it, and she, you know, messes up. So he stays late at work one night, helping her fix all the issues that she had with the papers that she typed up and on all that good stuff, all her coding. And she pretty much started hitting on him, like, "Yo, let's go out." So he's like, "Okay, cool." So then they go out, and she pretty much straight tell him, like, "Yo, it's one of them faded opportunities where you got to go for what you know, and you know what I'm saying? I want you." So she hugging up all on him and stuff. And it's funny because Goto noticed that he was shaving every day and stuff, and was like, and confronted him on some like, you got a girlfriend? He like, no. She's like, well, I've known you for 5 years and you ain't never shaved every day, so something going on where you got a girlfriend all of a sudden. He was like, is that a problem if I did? And she's like, yeah, how you gonna go from confessing your love to me just a little while ago to now all of a sudden you got a girl and somebody that got your attention and got you doing stuff like taking care of yourself and personally grooming yourself every single day? And I felt a little triggered by that. For the simple fact that this man confesses undying love for you and you rejected him. But now because somebody else is interested in him, now all of a sudden he got your attention? That's some bullshit. And people that do that is trash as fuck. That junk irks my soul. Because I've had shit like that happen to me. It's like, I told you that I liked you. I told you that I was interested in pursuing some type of relationship with you. And then you tell me, nah, let's just be friends. I'm like, okay, cool. I ain't harping about it. I'm like, you know what? She just don't feel that way about me. Cool, whatever. And then as soon as I'm with somebody, now all of a sudden you throwing yourself at me, man, fuck out of here with that shit. People who do that is trash as fuck. Man or woman, you butt as fuck. I'm telling you that right now. But back to the anime. And so pretty much the anime just kind of goes on that route. I'm loving the direction that it's going in. It's up there on one of my favorite slice of life that's come out this year. Like the slice of life is hitting hard this year. They doing really good. The next anime is Mars Red. Mars Red takes place in 1923, and vampires have existed for quite a while. But now the number of vampires is increasing, and a mysterious artificial blood source called Askra has appeared. The Japanese government, in turn, creates Code Zero, a unit within the army tasked with taking down the vampiric forces. And what better way to track vampires than by using vampires? Created by Lieutenant General Nakajima, this unit has historically been in the business of information war, but has been reassigned to solve the vampire crisis. Code Zero reaches out to an informant of sorts, a merchant named Tenmaya. Tenmaya agrees to give them information in exchange for them getting rid of whomever is creating Askra. And okay, so this anime, I'm enjoying it. It's only at episode 3. It really haven't gone too deep into all of the characters yet. But one of the things that you notice early on is the leader of the squad, Maeda, his first dealings with a vampire. He ended up falling in love with this vampire, and she killed herself by stepping into the sunlight and pretty much burning her ash all over the square or whatever. And so he agreed to join the task force and lead it. So the task force have 5 members in total, 4 of them being vampires. One of the vampires that we get introduced to is Suwa, who's a young scrappy vampire that deals mostly in stealth. He has one of those breathing apparatus masks on. He always dressed in black, got a hood on. He's white hair, and this is just, you know what I'm saying? And this is just how he operates. And one of the things about the anime is vampires have rankings based on how close they are to what they call the ancients or S classes. If you get bit by an S class, you're an A class automatically. If you get bit by an A class or anything lower, your class is pretty much lower than that class. And I'm not sure whether or not you have the potential to move up a class or at least be equal to the class that bit you. Probably not. But the second vampire in the group is Yamagami, who is a grizzled soldier through and through. And when he became a vampire, naturally he has to leave behind his wife. So his wife thinks he's dead, even though he isn't. And in the last episode, they actually touched in a little bit on his relationship with his wife and who he is as a person, or who he was as a person, who he was as a husband. And it made me resonate with that character a little more, because when you initially meet him, you feel like he's just some type of pissy old guy who initially just off back he don't fuck with Maeda. He mad that Maeda is their leader, and it's like, well, this is what it is. Fall in rank, soldier. Learn your place. The next vampire was Takeuchi. Takeuchi is a scientist who actually mistakenly became a vampire due to a scientific experiment that went wrong. And no, he wasn't one of those weird guys that was like, hey, I'm gonna inject myself with vampire blood and see if this turned me. You know what I'm saying? It was literally just a super fluke accident. He's very outgoing. He's a weird character, and he keeps a patch over his eye that gives away that he's a vampire. He's a pretty cool character. I enjoy him. And the last vampire in the group is Kurusu, who is actually the highest ranked vampire in the group. He's a rank A vampire, and one of the newest recruits. He is also a soldier, just like Yamagami and Maeda. He's very cool, easygoing guy, a very nice guy, and he does a lot for his, you know what I'm saying, whenever his team look like they're in trouble, he does a lot for his team. He's always willing to help. He's the super helpful type. I'm enjoying this character so far. And then, like I said, we got Maeda, who's the only human in the group, and he is the leader who works very closely with Nakajima, keeping him abreast of what's going on. Because, like most programs in the government, if it ain't giving results, the government gonna take money from your department and dissolve it and all type of stuff. Now, the squad in Mars Red, they're in charge of bagging rogue vampires that's doing the most, and then giving them an option. You either register as a vampire and stay where we know where you are, or you get murdered. If you're going to try and fight and resist, you're going to get murdered or you're going to get captured, and at that point, you're going to either be in prison or dead. And like I said, I'm enjoying it so far. I love the character interaction. The squad haven't really been in like any stupid crazy danger yet, but I'm expecting in the next few episodes for the anime to ramp up and the stakes to get higher, and I think it's gonna get really, really good. The last anime on this list is Odd Taxi. First and foremost, I'm gonna go off and say this: the intro to Odd Taxi is fire, fire, fire. That intro is cold as hell. Love the intro. So, the premise behind Odd Taxi is Odokawa is a walrus that is an independent taxi driver who lives an ordinary life, taxing some quirky customers around. Odokawa is a slightly eccentric stranger who has no relatives nor any relations with other people, with his only hobby being listening to the radio before bed. The only people he can consider as friends are his family doctor Goriki and his high school classmate Kakihana. When a young girl goes missing, Odokawa becomes a key interest of a local thug and gang affiliate Dobu. Once that happens, all types of twists and turns happen. This anime is so freaking fun and just really dope. You get to see a little bit of everything from like crooked cops to like a crooked cop, good cop duo where the good cop don't know the other cop is crooked because they're brothers. You see he got a weird little love interest from the llama that is that works at the doctor office he go to. So Goriki is his actual family physician when his family was alive. So he still went there through his life because that's his family's physician. And Goriki is a really cool, down to earth guy. Him and Odokawa has quite a bit in common, especially old music. They both enjoy old music. And then the nurse at the doctor's office is a llama named what the hell is her damn name? Y'all gotta excuse me. Her name is Shirakawa. That's why I couldn't remember it. That joke is rough. Yeah, Shirakawa is a llama that showed interest in him and pretty much told him like, yo, I like you and I want to get to know you more. So he acquiesces and let her kind of get to know him, and they kind of link up every once in a while and just talk and kind of just get to know each other. And one of the sweet things about Shirakawa is you end up finding out that she knows capoeira. And it's really interesting with their interaction with that, because she shows him, he's like, yeah, your makeshift capoeira, your makeshift karate, you ain't gonna be able to beat nobody with that. And she like, what make you think it's makeshift? Like, bro, like, what are you talking about? And he just kind of clowns on people and stuff. And Kakihara, his boy, is like love struck. Like he always or Kakihana I should say, he always is on dating apps and like trying to get girls. And he was like, you know what, I used to be the man in high school, but I'm not the man no more now that we're older and things of that nature. So he be trying to date people and just linking up with whoever. He don't care. He be lying in his profiles, all type of stuff. And then Dobu is like this weird monkey ape dude that is, like I said, he's a local thug. He's wanted right now by the police, and he pretty much operating and moving around for his boss, trying to figure out what's going on with the missing girl. And he works in tandem with the crooked cop. And it's like the anime just got all type of espionage in it. It got really dope, quirky characters. And Otakawa is a quirky ass character himself. Like, this dude is weird. And I'm thoroughly enjoying it. If you ain't watching it yet, you should definitely watch Odd Taxi. It is fire. And like I said, that intro go hard. That intro goes super hard. And yeah, that's pretty much it. These are the four most recent anime to come under that 3 episodes early review range. Next time I'll be reviewing all of these anime that I've reviewed so far is when they get to 6 or 7 episodes. I'll probably do 7 because that's just a little bit past the halfway mark, and I'll be able to kind of talk about them a little more in depth. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Thank y'all once again for coming and rocking with me. And this is calwu from planetwu. Also, like, you know what I'm saying, I haven't said this for a few videos, but interact with me in the comment section. I respond to every comment. Let's talk, let's chop it up about any of these anime. If you like them, you enjoy them, or you interested in getting into them, you got questions, go ahead and drop it below, and let's have a conversation. Let's talk. So once again, this is calwu signing off, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.
With a one-track mind, don't care about yours, cause I gotta get mine. Building each line with a Minecraft mind with complex rhymes. It's my time. Shit. I gotta thank all of my super producers. Truth.